Nintendo Switch Online has officially been released as of this week. In case you haven't heard though, this first week of the service is a free trial period that any Switch user can access. So be sure to get in on that action if you're really trying to get hands-on with Nintendo Switch Online. If you're not, well, stick around. It's gonna be a fun episode today. I hope. Let's not sugarcoat it. The response to Nintendo Switch Online has been bad. Don't believe me? Just look at the like-dislike ratio on the overview trailer. It's not pretty, but it's understandable. When you begin a trailer like this, and you show us what you can't do with the service, you can expect some serious backlash from your customers. And you don't even elaborate on the special offers that we've been waiting to hear more about? Come on, dude! What do I mean by what you can't do? Well, for one, you still can't use voice chat within the system itself. You're still restricted to that online voice chat app, which even functionality-wise is still not great. Honestly, if you're going to use any voice chat app, just stick to Discord. We'll get back to this voice chat debacle in a bit. For now, there are more serious matters to address, such as the horrible cloud saves feature and the even worse excuses for its exclusion from key titles. In our last video about Nintendo Switch Online, we mentioned that not all Switch games will support cloud saving, which is already bad enough. However, what's even worse is Nintendo's reasoning behind this lack of a feature for games like Splatoon 2 and Pokémon Let's Go. According to a statement issued to Game Informer, these titles won't support cloud saves in order to prevent cheating. The vast majority of Nintendo Switch games will not support save data cloud backup. However, in certain games, this feature would make it possible to, for example, regain items that had been traded to other players, or revert to a higher online multiplayer ranking that had been lost. Okay, stop right there. I totally understand the fear of cheaters, because this was also a concern to Sony and Microsoft. So you know what they did? They put in the extra effort and found a way to prevent that. Why don't you ask them how it's done, Nintendo? They're just a phone call away. Even if you're not going to call them, which you won't, then why don't you give us the option to back up our saves through a USB stick? PS4 gives us the option to do that for free. Free! And when your Switch Online membership runs out, those cloud saves are immediately erased without hesitation. You know what's weird though? I've been seeing a large number of people actually defend these policies like they're good things. Baffling, isn't it? Splatoon 2 players especially are fine with the lack of cloud saves as long as it prevents cheating. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Splatoon players. You're sure as hell not going to love this policy once your Switch breaks. If that happens, you can kiss all your gear, stats, and rankings goodbye. But hey, at least there's no cheaters, right? Even though PlayStation and Xbox have figured out ways to support cloud saves while also preventing cheaters. Seriously, stop giving Nintendo excuses. They have had over 10 years to watch and learn how a good online service is done. There is literally no reason why they shouldn't be incorporating the most basic of features in the year 2018 on their latest console. PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo have figured it out, so why can't Nintendo? Wait a minute. What kind of sentence was that? What did I just say? Oh yeah, here's a little fun fact for ya. The Nintendo DS and Wii had voice chat in the 2000s. Let that sink in for a minute. Even though not every game supported voice chat, Nintendo understood it way better back then than they do now. That's not even the worst part, girls and guys. Not only did the Wii U have voice chat for most games, but you could also back up your saves on a flash drive. And you know how much this all cost? $0. Zero! So allow me to debunk a statement that I've been hearing way too much lately. It goes a little something like this. You can't be mad at Nintendo. You're only paying $20 a year for less features than the other guys. What you're getting is actually a steal. Well, no, actually. Back in the Wii U days, you were paying nothing for more features than you are on the Switch for $20 a year. This is not okay. Whereas other companies are moving forward with their features, Nintendo is literally moving backwards. What sense does that make? Spoiler alert, none. However, if we're going to say anything positive about Switch Online, it has to be the NES Games Library, or as we like to call it now, Nesflix. Get it? It's like Netflix, but with NES games. Is it a replacement for the Virtual Console? Not in the slightest. But the novelty of playing NES games in HD on the go is one I can't resist. Sure, you can also play these games with your friends online, but I don't care much about that, seeing as I have none of those. Friends are temporary, games are forever. Or are they? You see, if you want to keep playing these NES games offline, whatever that means, that will require a weekly check-in to Switch Online. What? Why? What happens if we don't check in? Will we lose our data? I don't understand. Nintendo, I know you're friends with Xbox now, but please don't adopt the features of the Xbox One pre-launch. There's a reason why they canceled them in the first place. But to my surprise, this online update has now added game sharing. Don't know how Nintendo hasn't bothered to mention that this would be a feature, but that doesn't matter anymore because it looks like you can take your digital games across multiple Switch systems. You can add your account info with your games onto another Switch and play them through there, unless the primary Switch is playing the same game. And if that's the case, your play session will end. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like this feature works almost exactly like it does on PS4 and Xbox One. I myself haven't tried this yet, but comment down below if you have and if it works. Nevertheless, we haven't yet discussed the most important feature of Switch Online, the online part. I booted up some games like Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and they worked. They've honestly worked just as well as they have when the service was free. Still, the true test will come once Super Smash Bros. Ultimate comes out. Need I remind you that Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS was a nightmare to try and play online. If Ultimate continues this trend of laggy gameplay, only this time under a paid service, then Nintendo will be in some truly hot water. Even hotter than what they are in now. Look, despite all of these fairly justified complaints, we at the Commonwealth Realm still love the Nintendo Switch and will continue to love it so long as it keeps getting quality software like Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. But we cannot for the life of us defend such an anti-consumer online service like this one. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So, here is our 1,000-word review of Nintendo Switch Online Week 1. Does that mean that Nintendo Switch Online is doomed to fail for as long as it exists? Not necessarily. See, believe it or not, we're optimists here. And if Nintendo actually does what a good company should do and listen to their fans, then they could easily fix these issues. Voice chat is probably a lost cause at this point, but I personally would be fine with that as long as they fix their terrible cloud save system. Save data is very important for long games like Breath of the Wild, but are probably even more important for those online ones, like Pokemon Let's Go and Splatoon 2. People dedicate over hundreds of hours to those games, and to lose them over a broken Switch would be a travesty. Trust me, I know. I lost my 3DS cartridge for Animal Crossing New Leaf, and my 5 years worth of Village data is gone. So please, Nintendo, give Animal Crossing on Switch cloud saves. Even if Nintendo doesn't want to work on creating an anti-cheat system for the cloud saves, at the very least give us the option to back up our saves to a flash drive. It's really not that much to ask for. As a result, it's tough to figure out if I want to continue paying for this online service. Sure, it's only $20 for the whole year, but like any company, Nintendo listens to those dollar signs. And if not a lot of people pay for the service, maybe they'll finally look at what's wrong with it and make attempts to fix it. That or the opposite is true. Perhaps they'll be more inclined to listen to paid users rather than those who refuse to buy the service. Both scenarios make sense, but only time will tell which one of them is true. But we'd like to hear from you. What do you think of Nintendo Switch Online? Do you think it's a dumpster fire like we do with room for improvement? Or are you completely fine with what you're getting? Sound off in the comment section below, and please guys, let's keep it civil. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, and if you are new, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos regarding Nintendo Switch Online and other Nintendo titles. We'd also like to thank our patrons, including royal producer Kenyatta Ali, for all of their contributions to the realm. Please visit patreon.com/commonrealm if you'd like to know how you could support us in exchange for some awesome perks. But in the meantime, girls and guys, this has been the Commonwealth Realm, and we will see you in the next one.